Hello, hello. Welcome to today's intro to ChatGTP. That is why we're here to talk about ChatGTP. So even if you've never touched ChatGTP before, you're in good hands. You can, and we are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. You can put comments right from whatever platform you are on. I will say, I'm not sure that I can see LinkedIn comments from where I am. I'm streaming from StreamYard. But feel free to follow along. We will start at the beginning when it comes to Chat GTP. And I'll start at the beginning with introducing myself. My name is Amy Brennan, and I'm the owner of Custom Geekery. I've been building websites since 2001, and this is one of the reasons I love technology, because it's always changing. If you're out there and listening, I would ask you to just type in the comments of whatever platform you're on, where you're located today, where you're watching from, so I can get a sense of who's watching. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you, Marissa. I'm glad you're here. Okay. So if you don't currently have a ChatGTP account, we are going to start there by helping you get signed up for one. I will be using a paid version of ChatGPT today, but you can certainly use the free version. Oh, everybody's here. Yay. Thank you. I can see everybody's comments too. That's awesome. I'm in the USA today. I'm glad to hear that, Marissa. That works out well. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to create a ChatGPT account. Again, you can create a free account. Everybody starts off with a free account. If you choose to upgrade later, that's fine. If not, that's fine. There's actually a lot of usability in the free version of ChatGPT. So I will show you how to do that. I'm going to share my screen. Hang on a second here. There we go. Oops. Okay, now we're good to go. So the thing about ChatGPT is it's not like Facebook or Instagram that are kind of easy to find, and that you would go to facebook.com or Instagram. You're actually going to go to openai.com, and you will see a login in the upper, it says log in or sign up in the upper right hand corner of the screen. My camera is covering that on the display, but on your screen, you should see the login or sign up in the upper right hand corner of the screen. And once you do that, it's going to ask for your email address, or you can sign in with a Google account if you have a Google account. And it's going to walk you through a couple of steps of gathering information. It will send you an email. You do need to check your email to be sure that you've received the verification. It will also probably try to verify your cell phone number. And once you've completed all of that, then you'll be able to go. So for those people who might be completing that right now, let's talk for a second about ChatGPT. And again, this is a beginner's course. I know there's been so much talk about ChatGPT, but I have found that a lot of small business owners haven't had a chance to check it out, either because in the beginning there was such high usage that trialing a free account, sometimes you receive the message that the system was busy, check back later, or because a lot of the examples that are given are not necessarily related to small business. There's a lot of, oh, here's how you plan your vacation. Here's how you write a research paper with ChatGPT, but not as much like, how do you actually do business with ChatGPT? How do you make your day-to-day workflow as a small business owner or entrepreneur or office of one, executive director, whatever it might be? How do you make that a little bit easier? So those are the types of things we're going to talk about today. Hopefully you've had a chance to get your account up and going. If you have, then you'll hop on over to chat.openai.com, where you'll get to see the ChatGPT screen for the first time. Um, and you'll notice that the nice thing that they've done recently is they've added some suggestions of what you might be looking for right here in the middle. And that is also available on the 3.5 version. We are using, like I said, the 4 version today. The advantage of being on 4 is that you'll see there's a plugins beta. Right now, as odd as it may seem, ChatGPT, and it really should just be called ChatG. I don't know why they put all those letters there. I mean, really. So we're gonna call it ChatG. Hey Jaden, thanks for the question. A paid account is around $20 a month. I say around because software companies change their prices always. But at the time I signed up for my paid account, it was $20. And once you log into once you've created your free account and log in, down here in the left-hand corner, if you click the 3 little dots over here, it will take you to where you can see the upgrade options as well. Um, so I'm not sure what I was saying before that. Squirrel. I'm bad at that. So when you log in, you'll see the screen and there's some suggestions. There's some suggestions down here in the bottom. ChatG, I like ChatG too, it's easier, of things that you might want to search. But I think what we're going to do first is let's just talk about how ChatG is a little bit different than Google. Somebody put something in the comments about what was the last thing you searched for on Google? Give me an example. And I'll use a real world example of what you might search for on Google, the result you would get on Google versus the result you'll get in ChatG. We'll switch on over here to Google. Cats. You searched for cats, Marissa? I don't know about that. But let's say we search for how to solve a technical issue. Let's say, for example, I had this conversation with someone recently. They had like a shadow on their laptop screen, right? So how to fix shadow, if we can spell, on laptop screen. Look at that. All right. So it does give us this little thing up here at the top that might be a solution. But overall, what it really does is provide us with a bunch of options to choose from, right? And the thing that's a little bit different about this search is normally you'll remember that oftentimes here at the top, what you see are ads. And that's sort of frustrating too. So this just gives us a lot of suggestions that we have to sort of look through and go, oh, does this, relate to our scenario? Now, let's take this over to ChatG. And I'm going to come right down here where it says send a message, right? I'm going to paste this in here. How to fix, I'm going to make it a little bit more of a question. How do I fix a black shadow on my laptop screen? The thing I'll remind you is the thing about ChatG is the first name is appropriate. Chat. It's a conversation that we are going to be having with this software. And the nice thing you'll notice, it's like running down options for us. We no longer have to search through results presented in Google. It's going to say here, this is step 1. Determine if it's a software or hardware issue, right? And then it tells you, okay, we're going to do software troubleshooting. It walks you through step by step. It's not as much about hunting and picking an answer as it is about just step by step walking through the process that it's telling you this is how you do it. And that is the big difference between Google or any search engine and ChatG. ChatG is going to tell you how, Google is going to suggest options that you have to sort of search through to get the answer. So it finally stopped. Number 4 is pretty funny. Basically, if steps 1, 2, and 3 didn't help you, step 4, seek professional help with solving that problem. Which is really that's the case, right? When it comes to hardware and technical issues, if you can't fix it on your own, that's kind of the end result. You have to get some help. So before we actually put anything else in ChatG, yes, Marissa, very good. So ChatG is meant to solve problems, right? It's a great helper. That's what makes it a great helper for small businesses, is that it's really there to help you figure out how to do things. And that's why we love it. Okay. So speaking of problems, one of the problems small business owners often have is not knowing exactly what type of advertising to create for their um, customers, right? To attract them. And when I teach marketing courses, particularly social media marketing courses, that's always a stumbling block for um, some of my newer business owners. It's like, okay, I'll say, let's create your ideal customer avatar, and it's like, well, I have more than one. Absolutely, and that's fine. But if we don't know who these people are, it makes it really hard to figure out how to talk to these people. So we're going to go ahead and um, grab some information here to paste into ChatGPT to help us identify our target market. So here's my scenario that I'm going to copy and paste into ChatG, and that is this. Hold on 1 second, back over here. There we go. Lost my screen for a second. We are going to paste this in here. And this is long, and that's one thing I want you to keep in mind too. Even though this box looks small, you're not limited to what you put in it. Really, there is a place I think where you hit a limit, but you can put a lot of information in there. And the more context you give ChatG, the better the answers that you will receive from ChatG. So in this case, for a lot of small business owners, creating effective marketing really boils down to understanding who your audience is. And if you've been in business a while, you probably have some data on who your customers are and have an idea of what platforms are on, but you might not. And especially if you're new, you probably don't have the data yet. So this is just an example, and you'll notice I'm being specific. As a small business owner, I run a local bakery that specializes in artisanal breads, pastries, and cakes. Our bakery is situated in a suburban neighborhood with a mix of young families, young professionals, and retirees. We pride ourselves on using high quality, locally sourced ingredients and offering a cozy, welcoming atmosphere for our customers. However, we're facing increasing competition from other bakeries and cafes in the area. As an AI with expertise in marketing, I need help. Actually, that's not what I want to write. I'm changing this. Actually, the first thing I want to do is I want to ask ChatGPT to identify I'm going to ask it to act as a marketing expert and identify. Please act as a marketing expert and identify for us 4 buyer personas. That's where we're going to start. So we're just asking for some basic information, but you'll notice we put in there what type of business we have, why it's unique, our unique selling proposition, right? What our location is. So ChatG has an idea of what's surrounding us, what we have to draw from, and what we offer. So let's see what type of response we get back. Scroll down. I love how it answers you too. Certainly, buyer personas are fictional, generated and explains. I love that it explains things. I know some people get frustrated, and I actually think there's a feature now so you can have it not provide as much explanation. But I think with something like this, the added explanation is super helpful. All right, so it's going through, it's creating these buyer personas for us. Oh, we had a network error. What would software be? What would technology be without a network error? I'm going to wait just 1 second and see if we can get that to regenerate for us. There we go. And when it's done generating, I'm actually going to ask the next step too is I'm going to ask it to make some example content for us. And I love all it's like telling you the pain points of each buyer persona, the opportunities that you have to connect with them, the things that attract each demographic, right? And the truth is that almost every business does have more than one ideal customer avatar. If you think even just like about restaurants, right? You have multiple customer avatars. Okay, there we go. So we have this now. So we have our busy professionals, right? This is great for this crowd. No time to cook or prepare meals, overwhelmed by too many options. Um, Retired foodie Ralph. He's age 60 to 75. He's retired. So it really goes through. It gave us a really good idea of how all these people are, right? But this might not help you if you're not somebody who really knows for sure what platforms, demographics, which demographic you can find on Facebook versus Instagram versus TikTok versus YouTube. Then this is helpful, but we're not all the way there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ask ChatG to write us some example social media posts. So and we just continue those. I'm just going to continue the conversation. This is the thing about this is as long as we're in this ChatG is going to keep with the context that we've already provided, right? We've already provided up here at the beginning of this. This is our context right here. We are a small business owner. We run a local bakery. This is what we specialize in. This is what we offer, right? So as long as we stay in this chat, we're staying in this same context. So I can easily talk about anything that we've already talked about, just like you would with a friend or a colleague or a consultant. So for each buyer persona, create a social media post, identify the best platform for each post, and include hashtags if relevant. It always helps when you spell correctly. Although, quite frankly, ChatG is good at adapting, even if you don't. So let's see what we can do here with some social media posts, right? Think about how much time as a small business owner you probably spend just thinking about what you're going to post, where you're going to post it. I know for a lot of people, creating social media posts is wildly overwhelming, especially if you're in the phase of, still being an office of one. It can be really overwhelming. So it's great to have some examples that you can work with. I'm going to scroll back up while it's still answering here. So for our buyer persona, health conscious Hannah, we're going to use Instagram. Give the visual nature of the platform. Given it's perfect to highlight fresh, wholesome ingredients, right? So here's the post. They're recommending an image of a freshly baked gluten-free loaf with visible seeds and nuts set against the backdrop of a wheat field or local farm, right? And then they even give you the caption and a little emoji to include in your post, as well as the hashtags that we ask for. Number two, family focused Fiona. She's on Facebook. That's where we're going to find that particular demographic that she represents. It gives us an example of the picture that we might want to use, as well as the caption. And again, another emoji. Sundays are for family. Bring your little ones down to our bakery today and enjoy our special family combo deals. Kids eat free. Now, really, that is such a great example that it provided. Retired foodie Ralph. Okay, let's talk about this. It says platform Twitter, and most of us know at this point Twitter is now X, and that's a whole other conversation. But it does bring up a point that I would like to add. When you're using ChatG, remember it's running off of an established set of. It is so creative. It is, isn't it, Marissa? It's running off an established set of data. It only has data up to a certain point. So, like for example, ChatG doesn't know yet that Twitter is X. That's why it keeps calling it Twitter, which is quite fine with me actually. But anyway, so and it gives us an example of what to post on Twitter, again with hashtags, again with emojis. And busy professional Patricia. We're going to find her on LinkedIn. And I love how too it does give a little definition of like what each platform is, and talks about what would be an idea for a post, as well as the idea for the caption, as well as hashtags. So we can ask ChatG for pretty much everything. You could go on, right? If you know, so you've already asked for your buyer personas. It's given you your buyer personas. It's given you some example posts. Let's say you are working on Instagram today. Let's say you are already maybe even addressing all of these buyer personas. You could go on and ask for X number of days, X number of posts for, let's see, health conscious Hannah. We could ask ChatG to go ahead and create us another 10 posts that are aimed at health conscious Hannah, right? So I'm not going to ask for 10 because we'll be here for a hot second, although it's very fast. I just don't want to wait that long. Create another 4 social media posts for, I'm just going to copy those. And we'll scroll down. And again, it's always reminding us too, health conscious Hannah values health, wellness, transparency, and her food sources. Here are 4 more social media posts. And it goes ahead and just breaks those out. So whether you're trying to plan for the week, whether you're creating your content calendar, this is a great way to get some ideas of what to post, where to post it, so it's not so stressful. As soon as it stops generating, I will show you something else too. Okay, so you may be wondering how to actually use this response. You'll see right here, next to each response it provides, there's a copy button. Just click that, you can copy it, and you can paste it to wherever. So if you are, I always sort of work in one of a couple places, right? Microsoft Word, any of my Google Docs or Sheets, or in my email. And I paste things in there and sort of move them around and manipulate them, especially if I'm making a content calendar. This might not be going straight to creating a post. So you can copy it out. Once you've copied it, just go to the program and paste it in, and you have the information that you need for posts. I see we have a few more people joining us. Feel free to write in the comments where you're joining us from. And if you have any questions along the way, please let us know. If you are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube today. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, I should be able to see your comments. LinkedIn, I may not be able to see your comments. So just keep that in mind. You can go ahead and send me a direct message though if your comment's not coming through. Okay, so that's how we would make some social media posts. Anybody have any questions in the audience about this example or something specific you would like to see? We've been going about 30 minutes, and I would like to add in information if anybody has a question that's specifically relevant to your business or content that you're hoping you could create with Chat GPT. All right, let me show you another thing. I'm gonna, there's a couple things. I think people talk about how generic Chat GPT is, and I want to talk about how we can help it not be. So there's a few prompts you can put in here. Create a list of the copywriting frameworks that exist, right? So that you do know when you're asking ChatG to write something for you, what some options are of frameworks that you might be using, particularly in the marketing space, right? And it will just list out, it's probably going to list out a number of them for us. And the advantage to having it list out is that way, if you know, for example, let's say you're creating a blog post, you can say, I want you to write me a blog post using this framework. And it will use that specific framework for you when it's creating the blog post. And it's going, let me grab another prompt here. This is another thing that's also helpful is tone, right? I'm going to show you the generic way to find out about tone, which is this. Create a list of the different tones you can use while writing copy. I like having this list, like I printed out one, so I have it, what options it has. But if you want to write something that sounds like you, we're going to do that when it stops. And if you're following along to do this next prompt, go grab like copy, a small sample of your writing from somewhere, whether it's an email that you wrote or a blog post that you wrote or that kind of thing. Okay, and again, it tells us informative, conversational, formal, casual, persuasive, authoritative, humorous, sarcastic, friendly, empathetic, all these that we can ask ChatG to use these specific tones when it is writing for us. Okay, so now I'm going to ask it to detect a tone that I've used, and I just used a text expander. If you're like, how did that pop in there? Analyze the text below for style, voice, and tone. Create a prompt to write a new paragraph in the same style, voice, and tone. And then here is the example text I'm going to give it. All right. And this was just a little, I don't know, I used it in an intro to ChatGPT class once before, and I kind of liked how it sounded. It seemed like it captured who I am as a writer. So that's what I'm asking. Analyze the text below for style, voice, and tone. Create a prompt to write a new paragraph in the same style, voice, and tone. Okay, so we're asking it to do this. We're giving it the sample text. We're going to hit go. It's going to identify for us the style. The style is direct and informal. The text introduces the speakers. It provides clear structure of what to expect. The voice is friendly and welcoming. The tone is educational, but also casual and encouraging. And then it wrote a new paragraph in that tone. So, but I don't care about that paragraph. Let's say it has something new I want to write. So I'm going to say, using the same style, voice, spelling, there we go, and tone as above, write an email about open, oops, enrollment. Um, And then you can put, again, we want to be specific. So open enrollment for my company starts, I'm just making up a date, September 1st. And the deadline is October 29th to submit new sections. Okay. And we're gonna correct our spelling. All right. So this is just, I just threw this in here just off the top of my head. So we're using the same style, voice, and tone as above. Write an email about open enrollment. Open enrollment for my company starts. It's not a stat, it's a starts. September 1st, and the deadline is October 29th to submit new selections. See what it does. That's not even great grammar. We'll see how it handles that. There we go. I love that it did this. So it created the subject line for the email, right? Dive into open enrollment with us. Hey, everybody. It's Amy here, reaching out with some exciting news for all of us. September is just around the corner. And you know what that means. Open enrollment season is kicking off on September 1st. I've teamed up with our HR guru. Now, I said open enrollment and it knew HR, right? To bring you all the information you need, from exploring new benefit packages to adjusting your current ones. This is a golden window to make choices that fit your needs. Again, I didn't say anything about benefit packages. It knew. Now, but a small but super important detail, mark your calendars because last day to submit your new selections is October 29th. We want to make sure everybody has ample time to weigh their options and make informed decisions. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, don't sweat it. Mike and I are here to guide you through the process. Like, this is completely something that I would write. This is, if you know me, right? I'm a business owner. I'm a coach for high school sports. Like, this is my tone and style 1,000%. Like, it nailed it. And that's the biggest thing I want people to understand, because I see this all over online. Oh, you get generic responses from ChatG, and you know, it doesn't really give you something that's not cardboard. This is not cardboard. This is my style. I mean, sometimes I can be a little cardboardy, but normally I'm not. So I really like the answer that it provided to me, about open enrollment. And I think sometimes it's hard to get started with emails or letters that you need to write. And this is just such a great place. Hop on over to ChatGPT and type some information in and see what it spits out. Sometimes just the brainstorming alone is helpful. And that's the last thing I'm going to cover too, is like, my mouse is not cooperating. Some brainstorming ideas. Oh, I love this one though too. I am going to put this one in here because I think some people could use this, right? No, regardless of where you're at in business as a business owner, sometimes you just want to increase your sales, like right then. I am. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna take this to a new chat actually. So I kind of broke the rules there, but it did fine. I'm gonna start a new chat though, so that we have new context. I'll put this over here. I'm going to say I am a massage therapist. I own a spa. And I really need to increase sales immediately. Help me identify ways I can make money this week. I like this. I like this because it's a great example of brainstorming, right? And it might not be this you're brainstorming. You may have your sales all under control, and that's great. But maybe you want to add a product line. Maybe you want to figure out how to help your employees be more productive. There may be things that you want to change in your business, and you're just not quite sure how, or you wish you had someone to brainstorm ideas with without maybe necessarily, hiring a consultant. This is free. You can just hop out and use ChatGPT, and it will spit out some ideas for you. And I'm not going to say every solution it offers is perfect. But what do they say? Inspiration, not perspiration. This will give you some place to get some inspiration. So we should go back up. Promotions and discounts, have a flash sale, buy one, get one free, loyalty cards, package deals, gift certificates, refer a friend, last minute booking discounts. You get the idea. Host a class or a workshop. So, a few ideas there to consider. I will stop again for a second and see if anybody has any questions they would like to pop into the comments section. I'll be happy to answer any questions about ChatGPT for you. I'm hoping that this has provided a little spark of wanting to know more for most people. Obviously, you can hop onto ChatGPT and just explore it on your own. I've also created a course, which is in the description of this live. When was ChatGPT started, Marissa? It was launched, I believe, November to the general public. It was launched November last year. So it's not even quite a year old yet. So November 2022. We're not even quite to a year yet. And it's growing very, very, very quickly. The use of it is growing quickly. So I do hope that this provided ChatG, yes. I do hope that this provided some good resources and just jumping in and getting started. Again, explore it. There are lots of prompts online. I do have a class that is available 24/7, 365. The link is in the comments. Is real new then. Yes, it is. And I also offer one-to-one training sessions. So if you're somebody's like, I'm not going to take a pre-recorded class, that's not my style, and you want someone to actually guide you through step by step, learn about your business, figure out ways that you could use this to save some time. You can also, the link for that is also in the description of this video, and I'd be happy to discuss how you specifically can use ChatG in your business and hopefully save yourself some time every day and each week. When you are an office of one, that, an hour or two saved here or there really adds up. So it's real new then. Yes, it is. All right. If there are not any other questions, I hope everybody found this helpful. If there's other content that you would like to see, other things that you would like to learn about, I do hope to continue doing more live streams on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I don't know if I'll do them all at the same time or not, but I wanted to try this today to see how well it would work. But I do like making content and helping small business owners get what they need. So if there is anything that you're hoping to learn, leave me a comment or send me a message, and maybe that's what the next training will be on. I thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye.